Every song you've ever heard, whether it's Beethoven to Puccini to Lady Gaga to the Mills Brothers, it's the same 12 notes. I'm a Midwestern boy. If you had told me that this guy born in 1985 in the middle of the country is going to grow up and get to walk into the house of artistic expression for the art form of opera. Yeah, Metropolitan Opera. I came back in 2014. What a different time, 200 pounds ago too, which is wild to think about.
The world of opera meets high-stakes competition in the new documentary, ARIA, Opera on the Edge. Director Karen Day is bringing the film to the Sarasota Film Festival for its world premiere. But before that, she's here to talk about the journey and the talent and a special screening coming right here to Boise. Karen, it is so great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here and talk about ARIA.
I know. Okay, so opera, ARIA and its focus. What made you want to do a film on opera?
Well, you know, my background, I'm a social justice documentarian. I have been making films for 20 years, and I met Cecilia Violeta Lopez. I was doing an interview with her, and she told me about her journey from being in the beat fields all the way to the stages in Europe. And she was telling me how complicated it is to get an agent when you are a person of color in what I call the ancient dead white male art of opera, you know? And I thought, wow, this is social justice. And I didn't know anything about opera. Now maybe I know a little bit more, and I know that it's not just people with horned hats.
Yes, yeah, right? Yes.
Singing
it's not
in
just
a different language.
Yes, it's not just a Viking singing in some other language. It is such a beautiful art form, and I love the fact that you are focusing on another element in the journey of this art form, which is like the path of Cecilia. We love Cecilia. She's Idaho's own. She's our sweetheart, if you will. Okay, the film, though, it follows 4 singers, Cecilia being one of them. What drew you to explore the world of opera, though, and these challenges of the artists that they faced, in addition to what Cecilia shared with you? So give us an idea of some of the challenges that maybe we might be exposed to when we're watching this film.
Well, it's very interesting because Cecilia introduced me to the world of opera.
Yeah.
Opera Idaho helped support this film, and the 4 singers that we focus on in the film, one is African American. He talks about the challenges of going into auditions and having people not expecting to see a black man. The actual other female mezzo-soprano, Tahani Alawahari. She went to a very feminist college, and a mezzo-soprano in these ancient operas are really stereotyped to be the voluptuous bad girl.
Yes.
And she wanted to be seen for her singing capability. And so she was very early on, because she refused to typecast herself. She said no, and so she ran into a lot of obstacles. And then Ben has had a lot of body problems, body shaming problems, because he once, when he started singing, weighed 550 pounds.
Wow.
And then he shed 200 pounds, and he's on his way to shed another 100. But now he actually gets questions like, what are you going to do with all that extra skin? So the idea of these universal elements of discrimination and disparity that we see everywhere came out in this film, and it showed how these young people are really pressing against those barriers and saying, it's about the voices. It's not about your perception.
I love this. Okay, so we'll get a little bit of opera knowledge, but like you'd mentioned, really see the challenges that these individuals face when it comes to, you know, diversity, when it comes to opportunity, when it comes to, like you said, stereotyping. There's a lot of human elements that, regardless if you are into opera or not, I think people are going to really connect with in this film.
Well, what I always say is that in this film, everything that you think you know about opera, you'll find out you were wrong.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
And you know, you think of opera being 3 hours long in Italian or German, which it often is.
Yes.
But at the same time,
it's so much more than that.
In the film, you get introduced to the classics in a way that makes your hair stand on end, and you go, oh, this is why they love it. And it's 93-minute feature documentary that will keep you enthralled in those human stories, and at the same time teach you everything from the history of opera to where opera is going, which is a hip-hop remake of The Barber of Seville.
My goodness. Oh my goodness. Seriously? Okay, that's exciting. And truly, I mean, opera's been around for so long because it is so compelling and raw, and there's a beauty in it. Let's talk about the locations, though, because this film takes us all the way from good old Boise, Idaho, to the Met in New York City. How did the location of where you were shooting kind of help shape the stories that you're telling?
Well, this is interesting because the Metropolitan Opera is the ultima thule for every opera singer. That's where you want to go.
Yep.
It's much like for a filmmaker, you want to get to Sundance, right?
Yep.
And it's very difficult. And people don't realize that opera singers do not use microphones. And in a house like the Metropolitan Opera, they have to project for 4,000 people. The person
Fill
up
the
on
space.
the top floor has to hear them just as well as the front row.
Yeah.
And those kind of difficulties, challenges, and the actual art of opera is fascinating.
Yes, it is.
And I didn't know any of this. I had never seen a full-length opera when I started this film.
Well, okay, so Karen, I want to know a little bit then about your personal journey, though, telling this story, because like you said, you originally were going into this for the human element, right, the human personal stories. But what was your impact then when you started learning more about the art form itself?
Well, I can say that I've seen 37 operas now.
Wow.
And I don't
Way
say,
more than me.
Yeah, way more than most people actually want to see. But what I really hope is that people will watch this film, which is what happened to me. People watch the film, watch these singers and go, this is more than people standing on the stage. They look so formal. There's actually a storyline. And of course, in opera, there's super titles up above that translate whatever these singers are saying in Italian or German. And the reason you begin to feel why opera's endured, and it actually started with the Greek choruses. That's how old it is.
Yep.
Of course, that's the way some people feel. They go, oh, it's opera, wake me up.
Yeah, I'm not going to take it up. Like, no, you're missing a very, very compelling story. And the thing I love about opera, too, is all the storylines are ones that we regurgitate every day, that people watch in the movies, the modern cinematic movies, in your TV shows. And they're storylines that run the test of time of man. Right.
I mean, like Pretty Woman?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great one. Yes, indeed. Yes. All right. So you have made a tradition of airing your movies here in Boise. Why?
Well, I'm the Governor's Award winner for the arts, and that's a big thing. I'm also the most prolific filmmaker, a female filmmaker, a rare item in Idaho. And one of my favorite things as a filmmaker, you forget, because you work so hard from the beginning to the end, is to sit in the back of the theater and actually experience a hometown audience, watching the film, laughing, crying, embracing it, and applauding at the end. Of course, that's 93 minutes, and then you go back to work, just like everybody else. But for me, having it here at the Egyptian, I've done that. I've had 5 premieres here of my documentaries, and it's always my favorite experience.
Wonderful. Karen, thank you so much for taking the time to come in and chat with us today. Where can people go so they can be a part of ARIA and watch this and also follow the film, too, on its journey, because it's going to festivals?
It is. It goes to Sarasota Film Festival this weekend for its world premiere. It's at the Egyptian, April 13th at 5 o'clock. Public's welcome. And you can go to ariathefilm.com or the Egyptian Theater. All the information's there.
Wonderful. Karen, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Greatly appreciate your time and everything you do for our state, putting us on the map. All right, everyone, stick around because we have more Idaho Today right after this.